Vortex. We are at the other Kroger. We typically go to the other corporate conglomerate. It's like 10 minutes up the road. This one's way bigger. It's all less crowded. Unless there's like a snowstorm or something. If there's a snowstorm, then I expect it to be packed. But okay, so I was trying to do a song. I need to stop doing that. I'm not a songwriter. I realize that, like, every single time that I try to write a song, it's just dumb. Like, the power is in the moment. The power is in what I can do on the spot. It's like you can make plans all you want, but, you know, there's a saying that every time you make plans, God laughs. And he's definitely laughing at my ass because we can't ever stick with anything that we want to stick with. Like, even if I have a set written out, it's like I'll end up talking about something random, or maybe I'll just have this prop and I'll just pull it out of my pocket, and you know, like, there's a lot of different things that I end up doing on stage that I don't plan on doing. So if I can't even plan out a comedy set and stick with it, like, why would I be able to do that in my real life? Because comedy is like a reflection of my real life, you know. But I'm always hoping that I can come up with, like, lyrics that will really, like, accurately describe, like, what it feels like. And I think it kills me every single day that I can't do that. I wish I could explain this to you, but if I could, I wouldn't have a separate world that I live within. I wish I could hang out with you without crawling out of my skin. I wish I could sit on the couch next to you and not have this private party inside of my mind. I can't invite you, you'll just ruin it with Spike the Punch. I don't trust you, but it's not your fault, it's all mine. Just blame me, I do it all the time. It's easier for me to blame me, 'cause very rarely is it anyone's fault. But maybe it's not mine, it's just the way that I'm wired. some childhood trauma that I bottled up. Every night I take out that cork, and I know what it's for. Maybe we're mentally ill, 'cause there are too many sheep that do whatever they're told to do. They don't know how to speak when they really ought to speak. That's why they're addicted to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all these other ways that they can pretend to communicate, but they don't really do that, do they? I don't even know what I'm gonna get at this grocery store. I just drove here because I don't have any food, and I've just been eating vegetables. That's it. See this bread? This was $8. Okay? All because it's gluten-free. So it's not made with wheat. $8 to not be fucking poison. Okay? Anyway. Sorry, that was a side rant about bread prices. You think egg prices are bad? Just try being gluten-free. Now, I definitely think that I'm developing some sort of like intolerance to it, because like if I eat anything with wheat, like it just gives me what's that, like restless leg syndrome or tardive dyskinesia, what you get when you take too many psych meds. But yeah, I noticed that if I eat stuff with wheat, or if I eat out, unless I go to like a sushi bar or something, unless I buy stuff that's like relatively healthy, like the last time that I ate pizza, like from a pizza place, yeah, couldn't sleep, totally restless. They're poisoning everyone, yeah, they do it for fun. Don't you love being an American? I'm in a teeny tiny faction of the population that knows what's going on. That's why it'd be wrong for me to kill myself. So as sad as I get, and I'm pretty livid with what they do to us, what they've always done to us. Most people don't even know it, they just keep on trusting it, whatever they're told to trust, even though there's obvious proof that they can't be trusted, but they don't know what else to do because they've been brainwashed to trust the system no matter what, because they're boring ass people that don't know how to think outside the box because all they do is stare at one. As hard as this is, it's better than the alternative. And you're never alone. Like, think about it like this. If you're alone in the world, that means that God is watching you. He's watching you because Like, most of these people, they have all this other stuff that comforts them, you know? And they have fake people in their fake world that comfort them. But if you know that this world is fake, and you know that, like, society is pretty worthless, and I'm not saying that to dehumanize them, I'm saying that because of their actions, okay? Their actions! Action Jackson, okay? Hashtag, let's just stare at our phones till we fucking die. Okay, that's society. I think that my opinion's pretty valid. It's just not nice. It's not a pleasant opinion, you know? And that's why me personally, that's why I feel so alone. Because, like, I do not vibe with people. Like, even people that agree with me, like, I think that they have a little bit more optimism than I do. I'm just the most cynical person in the entire world. And yeah, sometimes I wish I wasn't like that, because I feel like if I was a little bit less cynical, maybe I'd have kids. But I'd smother them with a pillow, knowing what's coming. That's horrible. That's so horrible. No, but seriously, I think that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna see more desperate parents that are just gonna be killing off their kids like it's fucking Jonestown. That's what they're gonna do. Because they're not gonna be able to take care of them. And they're gonna feel guilty bringing them into this shit world. And so that's why I say that, yeah, like, I know how unstable I am. Like, I can't imagine bringing little people into the world, little miniature versions of me into the world. Why the fuck would I do that? You know? I get that, like, it can be a really beautiful thing if you, you know, sincerely want that. And, it's like you see it as a challenge, you see it as, you know, somewhat of a duty, you know? Like, I'm glad that people have that. But if they don't, then it's probably for good reason that they don't, you know? It's like, that's why, like, people have different jobs. That's why they have different opinions and different ways of looking at things and different bands that they listen to and different shows that they watch, you know? It's like, we're different. We have different experiences. And I think that when you try to, like, force yourself to do things that you know you're not good at, like, you're just going to be miserable. And all the people around you are going to be miserable. And I think, though, like, there are some people that have had a bad childhood and they are determined to be better parents than their parents, and, like, they actually succeed. That is awesome, dude. Like, seriously, that is so awesome. I wish that more people were like you. Unfortunately, I think that a lot of people, whether they're parents or not, they just see other people making mistakes and they complain about them, and then they just emulate them. So I try to do the opposite. Whenever I see somebody making a mistake, I go, I'm not going to do that. And I do think that that is why God has put certain people in our lives to remind us, like, this is what you could be. You could do this if you hate yourself. So, yeah, like, when I met Judson, he's a friend of mine, this guy that I dated, like, I gaslit myself into believing that I was supposed to be with him, like, in a relationship. And the more time that I spent with him, and once again, it's not because of him, it's 100% because of me. I'll convince myself of something that's so obviously untrue. Okay, I guess this is the delusional thinking for you. Example. So it's like I met him and I was wearing this t-shirt that said everything happens for a reason. And it was like that message was encased in a heart, okay? And he just kind of stumbled into the bar where I was doing stand-up, and he was really, really drunk. He was already drunk before he got to the bar. And I was shooting videos inside the bar, and he just like stumbled in and insisted that he was part of the videos, which at first pissed me off, but then we kept talking and I was like, fuck, what if I'm supposed to be with this guy? What if I'm supposed to be with this random drunk person that stumbled into this shitty dive bar where I happen to be doing stand-up comedy? What if I'm supposed to marry this guy? Okay? Because that's how crazy I am. But we ended up talking like that whole night, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, like the longer I talked to him, I was like, I think that you're just supposed to be really good friends with this guy. I think that you guys are spiritually connected, but that doesn't mean that you're supposed to bang. That doesn't mean that you're supposed to have anything romantic. And I don't know, we're very, very similar. Like we both have really bad OCD, and we're both, you know, kind of crazy and passionate, and we rub a lot of people the wrong way. He gets it way worse than me because he's a dude, and he's a tiny ass white guy with the fucking what do you call it, Napoleon complex, and very aggressive. But I like that because it's fucking masculine, and it's nice to see a white man experience some of that masculinity. But yeah, like I can meet somebody and convince myself of like a bunch of horse shit that I want to believe about like why we met, and the thing is I do that with not just like romantic interests. It's like I've done that with friends. I've done that with neighbors. I've done that with like, you know, jobs that I've had. Like I'll tell myself like this is the reason why this is happening, and then I'll realize pretty quickly that was not the reason why that was happening. You know, like it's actually something completely different, and I need to stop playing God in my own life and just let it happen. But yeah, I realized though, like being with him, I was like, if I can't make it work with this guy who's so similar to me, and you know, we have a relationship with God. You know, he's the only guy I've ever dated that had a relationship with God. Most of the dudes that I've been with, actually I think all of them, were really, really secular, and they gave me shit for my faith. But, you know, obviously it was something that they found attractive, otherwise they wouldn't have been interested in me. They would have been totally disgusted by that, you know? Especially now when you look at people and the way that they get so heated about somebody else's beliefs. Like I see it on the internet all the time, people that get so fucking uppity because I believe in God. Oh my goodness. There's something seriously wrong with you. There are so many people that I'm friends with that I disagree with on the majority of things. Okay? There are people that live lifestyles that I don't agree with, and You know, I got friends that have had an abortion. I got friends that are gay, married. I'm still Christian conservative. I still go to Orthodox church, you know? Like, it's not for us to make demands on other people and how they're supposed to live. It's up for us to be the example of how to live in Christ, okay? And anybody that says that that's foolish. Okay, so what if I just wasted my whole life believing a bunch of horse shit? I wasted my whole life trying to be the best person that I could be because I looked at Jesus Christ like he was a good example of God. He was a good example of how I'm supposed to treat people. Like, how is that bad? Like, I will never understand people that have an issue with religion, like, if it helps you. If it helps you to be a better person, if it helps you to treat people with respect, if it helps you to have empathy, anything that gives you empathy is positive, okay? One of the main reasons why I'm so opposed to technology and social media and all that shit is because it decreases your empathy. So I would say that the more empathy you have, the closer you are to God, because it's such a rare thing in this world. You know, people just encourage you to hate everybody. They encourage you to just write somebody off all because they don't agree with you. Or like, oh, did this person piss you off? Report them to HR, get them fired. You know, this is the logic of your average woman, okay? But also your average man, that's just like woman. But yeah, it's like anytime that something's inconvenient, people are so quick to get rid of it. Anytime something's inconvenient, people are so quick to say, this is bad, this is wrong. We shouldn't have to put up with this. Which is weird because you look at all the shit that Americans do put up with and it's like, really? It's like you put up a fuss about fucking not having Wi-Fi or, you know, a restaurant closing early. But you're not going to put up a fuss about them poisoning you with heavy metal.